It was close, yet so far away. Trust Ekong's header put the Super Eagles of Nigeria 1-0 up, and from then on, Nigerians started dreaming of a fourth AFCON titles, but the Ivorians had other ideas. Frank Kessie with an equalizer and Sebastian Halle with the final lane in the coffee. It meant that Ivory Coast joined Nigeria on 3 AFCON titles. With that, I welcome you to another brand new edition of Sports Pizza. My name is Edwin Onyebolise. Yes, it was a difficult weekend for Nigerians, but I'm sure that in the following days, that hot has started to dissipate, and we're looking forward to a brand new, Super Eagles, a brand new Nigeria, and of course, maybe a brand new coach. I'm not alone in the building. I have Abid David. Together will make sense. All that we have for you on this show today. We're going to focus heavily on the African Cup of Nations, the 34th edition. Away from that, we'll be taking a look at stories from other sports, and we'll wrap up the show with European football. Yes, Liverpool, Manchester City, and Arsenal all kept it going in the English Premier League. In the Spanish La Liga, Real Madrid puts daylight between themselves and Girona, while in the German Bundesliga, it is all about Bayer Leverkusen. So don't change the dial. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You see your favorite sports show, Sports Pizza, Edwin and David in the building. David, welcome. How you doing?
Yeah, hi Edwin. I'm a little bit pensive this this point in time. It's the Super Eagles have not been able to shake off the disappointment, the heartbreak. We move. All
right, we're not moving away from the AFCON because we are sticking with the African Cup of Nations. It was supposed to be Nigeria's 4th AFCON title. The moment Trust Ekong put the Super Eagles ahead, Nigerians started dreaming. After 90 minutes, it was from dream to despair.
Well, it was so close, yet it was so far. We felt we had it in our hands, but after 90 minutes, the result turned the other way. And well, what can we do? We saw it's a game of football, 90 minutes, and then only one team is permitted to win. You can't have 2 winners. So we got the deserved winners at the end of the match.
All right, for the Super Eagles, there were signs against South Africa. You could say and argue in favor of the South Africans that they were the better side over 120 minutes, but they were profligate in front of goal. We saw the signs. We saw it in full force, come to the full force against the Ivorians. We were late to the tackles. There was no energy. There was no bite. There was no thrust. And at that point, you could sense that the Ivorians, in fact, their coach talked about it, that he told his players that, hey, the Nigerians are tired, already tired. We need to take advantage. We need to run into those channels, run into those spaces, create something. And from the blast of the whistle, like you said, there was only one team that was up for it.
Yes, and it was part of my fears before the match started. I was scared of our 2 midfielders, Iwobi and Onyeka, battling against the 3 midfielders that Ivory Coast had, Seri, Kessie and Fofana. They overran us in midfield. They were just spreading the ball around and making Iwobi and Onyeka just chase after the ball. So they made it difficult for the Super Eagles. And our style of play, I think we were too defensive. We gave them too much respect in that final. We didn't offer much. One shot on target by the course of 90 minutes was not enough.
Was it respect or was it nerves? Because one of my popular saying is that there's a level talent gets you to. Yeah. You need that passion. You need that mental strength. You need that mental fortitude to get you past the finish line. And I think we lacked that. We had the talent, but we're not up for it. And one of my criticisms of Jose Peseiro was that he saw all of this. He said it in his presser that went up for it. Well, you could have done something, changed something. And I don't understand why he stuck with 3 at the back, knowing fully well that our backs were against the wall. At that point, take out 1 defender, introduce a center forward or an extra midfielder, try and counter what the Ivorians were doing.
Yeah, it was really shocking to see the fact that he stuck to his guns even when it was not going the way it was supposed to go. At a point in time, our backs were completely against the wall, and then he didn't do anything to change the shape of the team, and it was very shocking to see. I don't know if that's one of the minuses that Jose Peseiro has going forward. The fact that he had a plan A, it didn't work. He switched to plan B over the course of the tournament, and then plan B didn't work. So you expected a plan C or something different, but he stuck to it, and it felt like hitting your head against the wall and expecting a different result.
Stick with Jose Peseiro. His contract is up already. If you're an NFF president, will you offer him a new contract?
Well, considering the fact that the World Cup qualifiers are a few months away, I think, I'm also looking at the fact that the last Nations Cup, we were knocked out in the round of 16, and we still stuck with the coach to take us to the World Cup qualifiers. So I think we don't have a choice at this point in time. Not much options. We're not spoiled for choice. I think we just have to give him a chance.
All right.
Forward.
Talking about the players, who were you most disappointed with? I, for one, are disappointed with Olaino. I don't know if he was nursing an injury. I don't know if it was fatigue, but he wasn't at his paces. In midfield, Alex Iwobi was a total write-off. And I don't know why he started Samuel Chukwueze.
I was really surprised. Fine, he mirrored the formation he played in the group stage game against Ivory Coast, but I think that was where it was suicidal, because the Ivory Coast team that played against the Super Eagles in the final was completely different from the one that he faced in the group stage. And so I think he played right into their hands. All I know was, I guess fatigue is part of it. He has played he played 90 minutes almost all the games in this competition, and I think fatigue was part of it. Then Seydou Sanusi was off it. Even the defensive qualities that we used to at least praise him for was nowhere to be found. So I think a lot of blame is enough to go around.
Let's talk about the Ivorians. They're on the brink of elimination, finished as the fourth best third team. And from then on, there was a post I put on my social media handle that, hey, these guys have 7 lives. They exhausted 5 lives down to the semi-final. They had 2 more lives. They used one in the semi-final against DR Congo. And again, that's final. It wasn't more or less using that extra life. But what a tournament. Even away from the AFCON, I don't think there's been a winner of a major competition that put us through this emotional roller coaster the Ivorians put us through.
No, I don't think so. It's a remarkable time. A mirror image. You've seen 2 different Ivory Coast teams in this tournament. The one that played in the group stage that got Paul Michel Gasset fired, and then the one that Emas Faye took over. The fact that some players came from the doldrums, like players that Gasset had ostracized, someone like Michel Seri, like Max Cradel, and then the revival of Hala and Adingra, felt like a totally different team in terms of mentality, and it put them up for the task, and they delivered.
All right, for the South Africans, they won the bronze medal, defeating DR Congo. Penalty shootout. Once again, it was Williams to the rescue for the South Africans. And unfortunately for our own Stanley Nwabali, he didn't win the Golden Glove. That award went to Ronwen Williams of South Africa. Truls Ekong was voted as the MVP of the AFCON. Was he the best player? So, sentiments aside, was he the best player at the AFCON?
So it was immense. Fine, there are a lot of arguments you can make for him being the best player. Overall, outstandingly, he was not the best player, but when you put you stack all his merits, he was a deserved winner at the end of the day. All right,
Truls Ekong joins the likes of Christian Chukwu in 1980. And of course, Rashidi Yekini in 1994 and Austin Okocha in 2004 as the 4 Nigerians that have won the MVP at the African Cup of Nations. Away from the AFCON, quickly, let's go to basketball Olympics qualifier. The Tigers are through to the Olympics. This is going to be their 3rd appearance after 2004 in Athens and 2020 in Tokyo.
Yes, it's a good one for them. The fact that they lost 2 games, but they won the all-important game that ensured that they made it to the Olympics. And it's a good one for them. The fact that the Tigers are nowhere to be found. They were knocked out long ago. So I think it's a good one for them. Let's see how they represent Nigeria at the Olympics.
All right, before we go on the break, let's tell you that from the Super Bowl, yes, the Kansas City Chiefs fought back to beat the San Francisco 49ers 25-22 in overtime and win their 3rd Super Bowl in 5 years. Yes, once again, it was Mahomes to the rescue for his team, but it was overshadowed by Taylor Swift.
Yeah, so the Super Bowl over the course of time has now become more of a spectacle for the attractions and even the sport itself. There were a lot of most people even look forward to the halftime show more than even the game on the pitch itself. You saw Usher delivering a performance for the ages. But all in all, it was a good spectacle. Super Bowl delivering what the Super Bowl does on a yearly basis. Yeah.
Yes, Taylor Swift had to leave her tour in Asia to join and support her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, at the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Vegas was hosting the Super Bowl finals for the first time. And yes, what a final it was. We'll go on a break. When we come back, there's more on the show Sports Pizza. Don't change it down. Welcome back. Yes, it's the second half of the show. Sports Pizza, Edwin and David still in the building. Let's head to the German Bundesliga. And what a game, what a performance from Bayer Leverkusen. I saw the game, and at some point, Bayern Munich were unrecognizable. Harry Kane barely had a sniff in midfield. It was a total dominance by Leverkusen, led by Granit Xhaka. And hey, when they needed to be devastating in attack, they took their chances well. And the league is Leverkusen's to lose.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think Bayer Leverkusen have put themselves now in the driving seat. They are completely in control. The league is in their hands. But it's just the manner in which they dominated Bayern Munich was truly remarkable. It's something that has to be commended with what Xabi Alonso has been able to do with this particular side. And I think it's a good one for us to see. The league is now theirs to win.
Do you trust Leverkusen more than you trusted Dortmund last season?
Yes, I do. Because of the manner in which they sent a statement to Bayern Munich that we're not just going to win the league, we're also going to dominate in the way we're going to do it. And beating Bayern, I think it's been a while Dortmund have actually beaten Bayern convincingly the way Leverkusen made them look over the two legs, not even just the previous game. So I think it's a good one for them. I trust them a lot. What's
going to be the fate of Thomas Tuchel at the end of the season? Because as it stands, Leverkusen are favourites for the Bundesliga title. In the Champions League, from what I saw over the weekend and from the performances I've seen this season, I don't think Bayern will win the Champions League. At the end of the season, they go trophyless. I think Tuchel will be sacked.
Yes, and see, it's been a marriage that has not been very fruitful right from the beginning. The way he came in, the manner in which he came in. Nagelsmann was let go not because of the performances on the pitch, but because of matters beyond his scope of control. And so I think they got knocked. That's the week he was appointed. They got knocked out in the cup, and they got knocked out in the Champions League, and then they had only the league. Luckily, the league came on a platter of going Dortmund. So I don't think it has worked. If they go trophyless this season, I think it's time to end the association. All
right, a team that definitely won't go trophyless, Real Madrid. They put daylight between themselves and Girona. What a performance! What a performance! It came at the cost of Jude Bellingham, but Ancelotti will be worried. Good thing Jude Bellingham's injury isn't serious. Just a sprain to the ankle. But at this point, I won't put my money against Real Madrid, not only winning the league, but also winning the Champions League.
Yeah, from Ancelotti, once again, we write him off at our own peril. He has shown himself to be an effective man manager, able to coax the best results from even the most limited of resources. He's able to bring performances from realms that we have not even seen. And so with all the issues they had, he still managed to get that kind of dominating performance against their closest challengers. Madrid are in good shape. And when the most of their injured players come back, they will be in even better shape to go and win probably a double, because the Copa del Rey is out, but they have the league and then the Champions League. So they are firm favourites at this point in time, very firm favourites.
Yeah, in the English Premier League, Arsenal put up a performance, a show for the ages. 6-0, Declan Rice back at his former stomping ground. He got 2 assists, was on the score sheet. The 6th goal was probably goal contender for the season. Liverpool also responded to City's earlier win. City defeated Everton while Liverpool defeated Burnley. It's going to be an interesting Premier League title race.
Yeah, I think what Arteta did with that victory against West Ham after the victory against Liverpool was that he made a statement of intent that this season we've learned from some of our errors of the previous season. From last season, matches like this usually were like banana peels. They would take points against the big teams and then drop points against teams like West Ham. But they found a way to raise their levels and show that this season they are in for the long haul.
All right, away from that, let's tell you, European football competition is back. I'm sure you enjoyed the games in the UEFA Champions League. Quickly in the UEFA Europa League, we have some interesting ties. Galatasaray will face Sparta Prague, Feyenoord versus Roma, Young Boys versus Sporting. We have Benfica versus Toulouse, Braga versus Karabakh, Milan versus Rennes, and RC Lens versus Freiburg. Yes, in the Italian Serie A, let's tell you that Inter Milan continued their impressive form, defeating Roma away from home at the Stadio Olimpico, one of the most daunting grounds in world football. And Daniele De Rossi's rosy honeymoon is over.
Yes. At a point in time, the game looked like it was going out of Inter's hands. You know, De Rossi's honeymoon felt like it was going to reach a very perfect...
From the goal down, went 2-1 up.
2-1 up. But Inter Milan showed that what they have in depth, they have quality in depth, and why they are favourites for this season's Italian Serie A title. And it's upwards and onwards from here now for Inter Milan.
In other games, Milan versus Napoli. What happened to Napoli? What has gone wrong with Napoli?
They've lost their way. They need touchlights to find their way back. Because and the funny thing is, Mazzarri he has looked clueless. I remember there was an incident that happened after a particular game, and they forgot him in the press conference room. The boss had already left. They had to come back for him. So it feels like he's lost. It seems like they are still living the shadows, and the ghost of Spalletti is still hanging around the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona. So I think, let's see. Their target now is probably make European football Champions League at most, and see where it goes from here.
Champions League football looks a bit far. Yeah. Maybe they can win the Champions League. They have FC Barcelona in the Champions League. High flying, should I call them high flying? But Bologna are having a fantastic season. I think European football qualification is going to be massive for them. We also have Atalanta, who are in good, rich vein of form. And over the last couple of years, the Italian Serie A has given us plenty of excitement, plenty of entertainment, and of course, plenty of goals. That's the much we can take on the show today. I'm sure you had fun with us. Hey, don't feel too sad. The Super Eagles, Morocco 2025 is around the corner, and we have a good shot. Remember, we're still the most decorated country in the history of the African Cup of Nations. 3 gold medals, 5 silver medals, and 8 bronze medals, making it 16 medals for the Super Eagles at the African Cup of Nations. We'll leave you with our video of the week. Remember to follow us on our social media platforms at Sports Pizza. Thank you, David, for being around.
Yeah, thank you, Edwin, for having me. It has been a pleasure.
All right, we'll do this same time next week. Do have fun. God bless you.